Hey, what's going on, friends? My podcast every day is broken up into two parts on the free platform. The first part, Act 1, is right now. When it's all done, go right on over to Act 2 to get the second half of the podcast. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Hello, friends. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Go there for fun stuff with an engine, for crying out loud. Golf cart, ATV, UTV, motorcycle, e-bike, scooter, snowmobile, stuff that gets you in trouble, frankly. So that's awesome. Thank you. They are in Rockford, Michigan. You can find them again at impactpowersportsmi.com. Another day in this kind of like weird flux thing going on, as we are already experiencing issues with the Twitch stream, and I'm so frustrated with that. I'm looking at folks who are like, oh my God, how in the world is this happening? What is going on? So I'm buying time to until it reconnects before I get into anything fantastic, which is pretty much everything I say and do. You all know that. But yeah, that's frustrating. Today, yet another day. Well, hold on a second. Darla, quit. No, stop. Sorry, this is not the best way to start out the Eric Zane Show podcast. Nick says, with the big name games coming out of his mouth, probably be a regular thing if they throttle smaller streamers. The big, I don't know what that is. All right, I think we're back. So, if it happens like a couple more times, even one more time, I'm going to have to just restart it. My apologies. Darla, please. You know? She had a fidgety fidgety night last night. Moving around the whole damn night. I'm like, would you stop? Just sleep. I am kind of a weird week, obviously, with doing shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Nothing Monday or Tuesday. And then nothing tomorrow. Do my best to keep the car on the road as best that I can, but today was a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you. I was doing the radio show, and then while I'm playing like 2 or 3 songs in a row, I was writing my father's eulogy, which I will read or speak coming up on Friday for the funeral. I am going to end this. I am going to end it and come back. So we're having some... All right, I'm back. My apologies. What the hell is the problem? I hope this doesn't become a recurring thing. That's all I need. I got to figure out a better way and fast. I'll put that on the list of things to do. Alan says, just doing it for the love of the game at this point. I don't know what that means. Thank you to Donut Dan. He says it's not your fault. Yeah, I know. But it is if I don't get it taken care of. So it's kind of my fault. Okay. Let me know if it pukes again. And also let me know if it comes back. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'll figure out the next step if I need to. So as I was indicating, I was writing today, getting the eulogy done. And, oh my gosh. You know, I was doing pretty great. And then I'm like, okay, this is sad. And I was like, I would write, And I think I'm clocking in at 12 to 15 minutes, which is an amazing amount of time. That's sweet spot timing right there. You can't be too short. You got to get in. You got to start with touching. You got to lift them up. You got to make them laugh. And then you got to bring it home and inevitably it's going to result in kind of like a peaceful vibe at the end, but still it's going to make you weep. And oh my God, I know I was. And here I am doing the radio show. There's, 3 seconds left in a song that I have to talk out of. And I'm like, and there's tears rolling down my face. And you could actually hear my face leaking. I almost sounded like my pal Freebeer when he's doing sniffles into the microphone. I didn't do that. Only an asshole would do that. Wanting to make sure that everybody knows you're crying. No, I did not. I did not go up to the microphone and go so that the world knows that I'm not happy, that I'm sad. I did not do that. That happens, it happens. But no, I'm not going to intentionally seek out the microphone to go. But there was actually a moment when I was reading back the words. I actually had my face in my hands, and I was like, how am I going to do this? So there, I think that there is potential that I come unglued. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I know those words are in there. I was walled off excellently, and then I got to this. I wrote this one passage, and I was like, oh, God. There was another part that I was writing, and I pulled a ripcord. I said, no, I can't. It's too much. You can't. You just want to make them kind of just go, and that's about it. And then, bring them back in. Chris in Buffalo says, did you write yourself in an intermission piss break? I actually think it's not that bad of a thing to start to cry to some degree. I think that's real. People, it just shows, what type of clout Dad had, And I'll be there with all my loved ones. Some people I haven't seen in quite some time. And it'll be all good in the hood. Megan says, great question. Thank you for that question. What if Eric Zane pops out while you're supposed to be Eric Zaitunian? Yeah, we definitely don't want that. And what if? Well, my answer to that is it would not be great. Funny Eric Zaitunian is... I honestly, when I'm telling the funny parts of that make my dad laugh, that will make people laugh, it is Eric Zane's style storytelling in delivery only, but not like the words. I'm not going to be dropping swear words, stuff like that. I got to be focused. Part of me is wondering if that has crossed the mind of the folks who run the church, because these people are definitely well aware of Eric Zane. And I don't think that they know that I shift between personas. Eric Zane actually being my real, genuine personality, while Eric Zaitunian is a buttoned-up person. They're hoping that they get Zaitunian, okay? Actually, they're not aware that there's two. So I think that they're probably like, oh, gosh, what have we done? That's a great question. But, honestly, I've been doing this so damn long. It'll be, honest, when I do like the radio show on Q100, that's Eric Zane delivery, but Eric Zaitunian mindset. You can't be an idiot. It is really only here where I can really dive into and say whatever I want, and embellish and be stupid, and that it's quite cathartic, frankly. Dare I say that the 2 days now, yesterday and today, that I have had with you have been very substantial when it comes to my mental well-being. Uh-oh. It appears that Twitch has again, or OBS, whatever the hell this is, has barfed again. All right. I'm going to end this one, too. No, I think it's back. All right, good. It's back. It lets me know that it's back. It says, we're gone. We're back. We're gone. My apologies again. Very difficult for me to stay focused. All right. I'm gonna end this one. Okay. Boy, this has been a dark day for technology. Try this again. Now, to be honest with you, if this barfs on me again today, I'm pretty sure I have exhausted all of my troubleshooting tactics, which really aren't much. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get this out before it barfs again. But if it barfs again, I'm going to have to bail and then figure something out. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go on, what the fuck is on my nose? It's like there's a zit there or something. What is that? I can't afford to have some stupid blemish on my nose. My nose is dumb enough as it is. You see me just lick my finger and then wipe it? I think it was, I don't know what it was. It might have been feces. Did you try unplugging everything? Essentially, that's what I did. First, I backed out of the software, restarted that. That obviously did not work. So then I went, all right, it is time to pull out the heavy artillery. Turn off the computer. And that's what Alan says. He says, turn off, turn on. If that doesn't work, well, that's not your problem. Fuck it. 100%. So I went ahead and did that, and now we hope for the best. Rebecca says, did you kick the Zenith? Old school reference. Was very, very funny while it lasted. One of the comments that was here on the chat before it barfed was Nick in the arena saying, one of the hardest things I ever had to do was speak at a funeral. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's not for everybody. When you're trying to navigate your own emotions and you have to say something that will have some meaning. Oh, my God. But I think it's a solid 12 to 15. And the thing about it is, when you're at a funeral, I think I mentioned this before, even the slightest bit of humor crushes. Like, maybe just a crack here or there. It just a little goes a long way, because you got to understand, these folks that are there, all they've done is feel bad since the time they woke up. So I mean, that's a bonus. If you're there with them, and then, they're like, oh, God, now he's going to speak. The son, he's the youngest son. It's devastating. Then all of a sudden, you throw a quick change-up on him, quick pitch a change-up. Then the shit hits the fan. Megan says you should take it over to Facebook. I think it has puked again on me. My apologies, folks. I'll try to come up with something else. Okay. I just can't stop trying. I just can't stop. If this fails again, I can't rule out trying it again. At this stage, I have accumulated, let's see, I think this is probably about the 6th, 7th, or 8th attempt at this. Oh, my God. Oh, well, back to the drawing board. I will say that while the software barfed again, I did go ahead and download a new piece of software. I think, you see, the problem is with me is every time there is an issue like this, and then let's say I finish up a broadcast that's been rough like this with technical issues. And then the second I end it, I'm like, it's gone. It's out of my brain. So I really need to keep it. That's like my life story. Upon completing it, I'm like, oh, well, it's fine. And then I don't actually remedy the scenario. And then this has been ongoing. This dog's hear something. So I'm adding this to my, okay, in fact, I already did add it. I don't even remember adding it. But I added it to my list of things to do. New streaming interface software. I sincerely apologize. Now, if you're listening to the audio podcast, I just edit all these moments together to make a show. So I'm probably into like 11 or 12 hours of broadcast from all these weirdo moments. And then it barfs again, and then I restart it, and then, which, by the way, that's not free of issues, too, because I got numerous people yesterday saying to me, EZ, have you uploaded the audio podcast? And I'm like, well, yeah, I did. And then I had some people saying it's downloaded fine for me. Other people saying it did not download for me. I'm talking about Apple Podcasts. It did show up here for me. And that's usually, I'm like, well, I'm seeing it. And it was on Spotify. One guy said, EZ, it didn't show up on Apple Podcasts, but it did show up on Spotify. So I don't know, man. I am at the mercy of these things, unfortunately. So we may just have like 2 or 3 people that are enjoying the show, and that's fine with me, as long as I'm live. Because if I'm here live with you, I stay at a certain level of, I hate to say the word energy because Freebird abuses that word. But it's true. Like there's something lost when you're not live. If you know you're live, you stay at a certain level of like you want to keep the material moving. The last thing you want to do is do something that's incredibly awkward or anything like that. If I'm not live, I don't do as good of a job as that because I know nobody's watching it. That's why I kind of love to do a show live all the time, and a lot of people do. O'Neill, please. While that's been happening, these dogs, when you get agitated like the state that I'm in right now, and though I look remarkable, I am at an unbelievable level of frustration with you. Not with you, but with this. And then these troublemakers behind me then, they're like, okay, let's really put him into the stratosphere by licking things. And that is hands down one of the worst things that can happen to my soul. If an animal is licking anything. You've seen me many times do this. When I turn around, I'm like, stop. The all-time worst is the paws. I don't know when they're licking their paws, it's, I would rather hear nails on a chalkboard than dogs licking paws. It's like the sound of a twat being eaten in my ear. That's the sound it makes. You know, sometimes that type of sexy activity does lead to certain sloshing noises. And the last thing I want is to hear rando twat in my ear being sloshed around. I mean, sometimes that's okay, but not now. I'm working. I don't want to hear that now, for God's sake. Shit. Tofus says Streamlabs. Yeah, that's, so like that's what I'm using right now, and I think that needs to go away. I think that I can do better. So I'm looking at either StreamYard or Restream, two different pieces of software. Problem with that is if I went over to Restream right now, which I have that software, I'm not familiar with it. I haven't used it enough where I can click around. Like here, I know this all like the back of my hand. If I wanted to post something and share it with you, like screen and picture in picture or whatever, I could do that, but I can't do it with Alice because I'm not good at it. So I got to familiarize myself with it, make a couple of adjustments, and then boom, I'm in business. But until then, it's fucked. I'm at the mercy of this pile of shit, and I don't even know if this is a problem. That's the issue. Okay. Last night was a Grand Rapids Griffins hockey game. And there was a moment in the game. I heard Josie at the scorer's table. She mentioned something, and I was like, well, she can't. There's clearly no way that's accurate. What you just said can't be true, but it was. There was a bat flying around inside of the venue. This is that moment. That's me talking. The bat is now officially known as Bruce. That is incredible. I have never seen that happen before. That's one of the first. That's a first. Thank you to the multi-talented Deanna Falzone, formerly of Fox 17 fame. Pretty as a picture. She's the type of pretty where when I see her at Meijer and I'm with Pooh Bear, I have to kind of go, oh, hey, there's Deanna. But in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, my God, look at her. So cute. And the thing is, Pooh Bear's like, oh, she's so cute. But I don't want to be the guy to go, yeah, she is. You know, you don't want to say that in front of your wife that so-and-so's attractive. I mean, I am very attracted to all of you, but I don't tell her that. Well, not the men. I'm attracted to all the ladies. You're all just lovely, beautiful women. Maybe a couple of the dudes. I'm not going to say which ones, though. Anyway, I don't want to say to Pooh Bear, Deanna Falzone is just, I think if you're a guy like me at my age, you can say, oh, my God, she's so cute. You can say it in that tone. Oh, my God, she's just adorable. Look how cute she is. And then leave it at that. If you say anything more than that, that's where you get yourself in hot water. I mean, you just want to leave it at that. You don't want to look at him with a fiendish smile or anything like that. You just want to say, oh, my God, they're just adorable. And you just say it like that in that matter-of-fact way, and you can pull it off, I guess. There is a birthday girl in the house very soon. Now, the birthday for Pooh Bear is Monday, March 9th. But for Pooh Bear, it's kind of like birthday month. And so that is she's going to be 59 years old, and she is not happy about that. And I go, honestly, 59 is like, I think that's described as the new 19. I said to her, I go, if you ever put your mind to it, you would just crush it. The people who really are excited about turning 59 are the people who have put in a little bit of time in the gym or however much time. And you ever see somebody on like TikTok or Facebook and they're 59, but they look like they're 25? That is inspirational. Okay? Not the easiest thing to do, but it can be done. That's when you're happy you're 59 because you feel like you're 19, 29. But you're not. It's a mind fuck. Chris in Buffalo says, fucking Gigglebox is like that. She's 60 going on 18. I thought she was 75, but going on 18. She is so old. But you never know it. In spirit and in outward appearance. I think it's genetics. Anyway, at that hockey game last night, which the Griffins won, big time, 7-3. We're getting ready to start the game, and you got dude who's going to come out and drop the ceremonial first puck, and he might be fucked up because he wiped out hard. He's like the guy who comes out and he's a sponsor. And his company is called, he works for a company, or it is his company called Vicinity Energy, which I have never heard of. And he's the type of guy, barrel-chested, probably about 40, looks like he, eats nails. Tough guy. And I'm walking where I go to take a leak, and I see him. I go, "You're dropping the first puck, aren't you?" He goes, "All right, you're damn right." I go, "That's awesome. I'll introduce you. You walk out on the carpet, you drop that puck, and boom, you're going to be awesome. I know it." He goes, "Thanks, Sid. Yeah." And he looks like a badass, He walks out, and oh no, did he go down. And he laid there like a turtle on its back. The players are there to help. They have to help him up. Nick says, "Oh shit, I missed it. Vicinity Energy heats the arena." Yeah, that guy ate shit, Nick. He went down. Megan says, "Is there video of this?" I'll see if I can get some. Hey Siri. Text Brandon Nelson. Is there video of that guy wiping out on the puck drop?
Okay, send.
All right. So there we go. And so then he gathers himself, and I said, "There we go. He's tough. He's fine." But I didn't know he was fine. I just assumed. He could very easily, I said he cannot pronounce the letter H anymore. But and the refs love that. If he is injured, oh my God. It's going to change the name from the Van Andel Arena to the Vicinity Arena. My God. All right. The state of Michigan is trying to change the law so that if you have a pistol and you want to carry it concealed, that you will no longer need a permit. The image that the news source that I'm getting this from, before I get to that, Nick writes, I wonder if he hit the ice harder than Bradley. Now, what Nick is referring to and I may have to come back to that because I am getting indicators, again, that this may have puked. The stream might have puked on me. Bread Bull Brain Chris writes, for fuck's sake. Shit. This thing on? Well, it's not like this is my my livelihood or anything. My resolve is strong. If you've made it this far, welcome to each and every one of you. And congratulations. I think you are part of what is, or what has been so far, and it's continuing. The worst catastrophic technical meltdown in quite some time. But I'll see if we can gather up a few more minutes. And I guess I'm just still doing this type of thing until I am able to limp my way through what I want to do, I guess. I couldn't tell you what the hell is going on. If you are here, please give me a shout. I see Piano Finger Banger is here. Megan is here. Tophus is here. He says, nah, I've seen worse. Well, I mean, like from my standpoint, on my channel. The main thing is I can't like crash out. I mean, that can be hilarious, but I try to stay even keel these days. It takes a lot to get me upset. I've only been upset, like really upset, maybe once or twice in the past year, and they both involve Kenny. That's about the only times I've been upset. God rest his soul. He's not dead. He's not allowed in here. I don't ever want to speak to him again. It was that horrible. Anyway. Donut Dan says you're going to have to call customer service in Indonesia. I certainly hope not. So where was I? I was talking about how in the state of Michigan, they want it so that, like, you can just carry a pistol without a permit. And I don't necessarily hate that. But one thing that sticks, by the way, this picture here of this guy with this holster, that's the holster that you get, like, with the gun. And it's ridiculous. Anybody, tell me you're a new gun owner without telling me you're a new gun owner. If you use that piece of shit hard plastic one that comes with the gun. If you are walking through Meijer and you see one of those dickheads who likes to open carry, which is a huge pile of shit. I hate open carry. Honestly, if you're open carry, that makes you a target for the bad guy. And honestly, you make everybody antsy when you open carry because not everybody is comfortable around guns. If you're walking through the produce section with your fucking pistol on your hip, you fucking idiot, spend $100, get a permit, and conceal it, you stupid cock. Yeah, so they're like, yeah, hey. But the problem with that is then you're going to get every idiot doing that. And I don't, if every idiot, especially in these small towns, like if you're walking through Meijer in small town Michigan and something happens and all the hillbillies yank their pistols out, all of a sudden they all fire on the person who they think should be shot. And it turns out that person pretty much just dropped a container of eggs, and they're going to fill that bastard full of lead. Or they're all going to fire and then miss, and it'll be like Jules and Vincent in Pulp Fiction. And then they're going to be like, holy shit. And then all those bullets are going to hit other people. I know that's slippery slope. Tophus says they'll be standing in a circle when they fire. Yeah, maybe. Donut Dan says it's not Texas, right? Well, that's interesting you say that, because I don't know the law in Texas. Do you need? I know that there are states where you don't need a pistol permit. I think New Hampshire is one of them. States that don't require a license to conceal carry. Yeah, there's a lot of states like that. 29 states do that. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona. I guess it's fine. All right, fine. Fuck it. While no permit is required, carriers must still be eligible to possess a firearm under state and federal law, so you can't be a felon. Many states require 21 or older, though some, such as Alaska, Arkansas, Idaho, Indiana, and Tennessee, allow it to be 18 and older. Even in these states, carrying may still be prohibited in certain locations, like government buildings, schools, or secure areas. That's bullshit. You should be able to carry in a fucking school. Reciprocity, if traveling, check the other state's honor. That I remember when I first started carrying a pistol, where, and this will be no surprise to you, considering the fact that I was driving around recently in my truck with a loaded shotgun. And it was Nick, the electrician, who says, you're not supposed to do that. What the fuck are you talking about? He goes, no, it doesn't. Your pistol license doesn't matter. You can't be driving around with a loaded shotgun. And boy, did I feel stupid. My God. But yeah, one time I was traveling, and I don't even travel with a pistol anymore, because you never know when you're going to. You should know, but I've traveled in the states where I can't have that. And if I got pulled over, I'm fucked. Like felony, going to prison. You don't fuck around. States like New York, California, and Illinois. I remember there was one time our show, I'm just going to keep this moving. Our show traveled to Chicago back in the day. And I carried the pistol on me, and I was walking around Chicago with my pistol concealed. And, oh boy, that's a problem. Big problem. Tophus is asking if my bit rate is at 6,000. Hell, I don't know. I don't know how to check that. What the hell do I look like? A tech wizard? What's crazy about this is, let's see, output. Streaming. It says bit rate is actually at 6,000. That's funny you said that. Is it not supposed to be at 6,000? Are you suggesting I should lower the bit rate? Let me know in the chat. I mean, it's funny because you said, is your bit rate 6,000? And I was actually able to check it. And there it is. It says 6,000. All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.